3 tips to maintaining masculine frame with respect to sexual polarity and attraction. As you know, I think it's useless to discuss these things without real-life examples and case studies. So let me tell you a quick story. I received an email yesterday. Mike is a 23 years old young man and is been with his 21-year-old girlfriend for about 4 months. So recently, she saw him without a shirt for the first time, and her expressions, she was a bit taken aback, and she went on to say she expected more muscles because he has some muscles in his arms. According to him, he's thin with some biceps but doesn't have abs, chest muscles, or a muscular body. So he's now afraid that she wants a more muscular body, and he's starting to feel really insecure around his girlfriend. He says being shirtless seems scary, and his anxiety is making it worse. So we're talking about insecurities, scarcity mindset, and anxiety here. I think we can all agree that none of these things sound anywhere close to masculine frame or traits. And it's not what you think. This is probably the moment where some weirdos will choose to shame, insult, and guilt this young man for their personal toxic need to be right. You're a simp. Were you raised by a single mother? Well, it's not that simple. I would even argue that these types of responses are created by the feminine energy because of the first of 3 traits I'm about to share with you right now. We've all been insecure, scared, and anxious before, and unless we're talking about intergender relationship dynamics, polarity, expectations, and entitlement from women, these issues are in no way connected to being a simp. Honestly, if that would have been your response, you may just have been the simp, a deep down simp that we will cast out if you hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video. And yes, this particular story is still about masculinity and its masculine frame. So with that being said, I want to go ahead and share this masculine traits to keep at the back of your mind with respect to this story. Trait number 3, safety. Your masculine frame is responsible for not just your safety, but also making people around you feel safe. So why should you feel responsible for that? As a typical man, and not the exception, you'd notice that you feel useful and significant when a person who is especially in a romantic relationship feels safe around you. This is usually rewarded with that type of respect and submission from a woman that you crave as a man. And yes, it's conditional. So with the case of Mike, as admitted by him, his mind playing tricks on him resulting in lack of confidence is probably exuding feminine energy. And when a misplaced feminine energy meets her feminine energy, there is no sense of safety, and effectively there is exaggerated chaos, no polarity, and no attraction. Trait number 2, security. Again, Mike admitted to feeling insecure about his own physique. If this was a rare occasion where the woman is bringing the sense of security into the relationship, she would engage and make him feel better about himself. But as you just observed, that was cringe, right? But for a little while, a woman that likes you enough will actually attempt to make you feel better. And these are sizable books. They're minimum 200 pages. You can download them absolutely for free by simply going to, for example, this one, you just go to getmymarriageback.com, smartrealestatewholesaling.com, realestatemoneysecrets.com. So yes, I am a 3-times author. Those books are out there for your consumption, and they are also available everywhere on Amazon, anywhere that you pick up books. So in case you prefer a physical book like that. The problem with that is you're not a woman, and therefore tend not to multiply the seed a woman sows into you. If she has to do this consistently, she will feel unsafe and attempt to secure herself. That will feel masculine to you. There are at least 3 types of security that's actually in your best interest to bring into your relationship, because she would tend to multiply and reciprocate. 1, physical security. 2, financial security. And number 3, emotional security. Believe it or not, most modern women could care less about the physical security for the most part of your experience. By the way, the only type of woman that exists in these modern times are modern, and the expectation and entitlement to traditional women from 1957 is delusional and simpish behavior at best. And a submissive, respectful woman is not equivalent to traditional women either. Your muscles is typically not what makes you attractive to a typical woman. The same goes for financial security because many of them are able to secure themselves financially. I know you may not care about that as a man, but she's the audience, the market, and she cares about that. Where you're still going to be useful in these modern times is emotional security. It feels better to her when she feels emotionally secured around you. The problem with Mike is that he won't be able to give what he doesn't have. He's insecure, so he can't make anyone feel secure. He needs to work on that insecurity because that is simply not sexy to a typical woman, including that woman that claims she likes vulnerable men. That's cap. When his girlfriend said she expected more muscles because he had some muscles in his arms, all he needed to do was flex that little muscle in the spirit of joke and banters that would instantly inject a sense of confidence, which also represents emotional security, and they would have a nice laugh about it. As a masculine man, you have to know when to not take your woman so seriously. Relax. Trait number 1, structure. The masculine energy pole provides the structural element of the polarity, creativity, the uncertainty of varieties and beauty that we all enjoy in a romantic experience is created by the beautiful, chaotic feminine energy. Ultimately, it doesn't care about your feelings. So how could Mike bring structure into the chaos he's found himself with his girlfriend? He could bring confidence in himself because the reality is that your environment, especially the feminine energy, will mirror and agree with your confidence level when you learn how to navigate with calm. If you try to swim against the trend with aggression, you will drown yourself. And as promised earlier, let's talk about responses that build structure versus those that come from the epidemic of feminine energy in modern men. When you respond to a conflict or crisis, is your response going to build or destroy? You'd agree that the masculine energy already sounds like it builds and not destroy, right? Within this present social construct, men are usually attributed to build the house first for women to turn into a home. Again, the femininity, multiplies and reciprocate. So the real question here is, are you factoring in how your responses make people feel emotionally? What is the reality of the results you are creating? Do they feel built up or destroyed after their encounter with you? Here's a question I have for you. Context matters, right? Change is the only constant in life, right? How do you think this has affected the dynamics of being able to maintain your masculine frame with respect to the reality of modern times, dating, relationship, and marriage? Leave your answer in the comment below. I'm learning with you. Masculinity, when it comes to intergender dynamics, is not about your aggressively expressive input. We're not your regular animals. We are higher animals. We're humans, and that means we're designed to be wiser and with foresight to pay attention to the processes that the human mind goes through, especially when another human is involved in a romantic context. More importantly, gentlemen, especially, it's highly rewarding to pay most of your attention to the results you're creating. And the man in the mirror, your results are the reality, not what you say, want, or your wishful thinking.